I'm Hannah Kaplan, and this is the WCS Wild Audio Podcast, where you'll find reported audio stories covering the latest news and newsmakers from the Wildlife Conservation Society's Global Conservation Program, Zoos and Aquarium, and their many partners. We've got a great show today, so let's get to it.
In the third and final episode, featuring the first annual Real Wild New York Film Festival, which launches in New York City on April 4th, we talked to the hosts of the popular television series Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. They'll be on hand for the screening of several of the show's episodes in an exciting and inviting family-friendly program on Saturday, April 5th. Nat Moss has this report.
I was excited to speak with Dr. Rae Wynn-Grant and Peter Gros about their involvement in the Real Wild New York Film Festival. As a kid in the 70s, I was a devoted follower of Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom TV show and the travels of host Marlon Perkins and Jim Fowler as they crossed the globe to introduce us to the lives of countless wild species. Dr. Rae says that's where her interest began as well.
I got exposed to wilderness, wild animals, kind of adventures in nature through watching television. And I used to watch all the nature shows. It was allowed in my house, right? Because it was considered educational programming. And so I could just go for it and watch all the kind of iconic nature shows. And one of them was the original series, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. I used to watch it and I loved it. And I used to point to the TV screen and say, I want to do that when I grow up. I want to host a nature show.
That was before she received her B.S. in Environmental Studies from Emory University, her Master's from the Yale School of Environment, and her Ph.D. in Ecology and Evolution from Columbia University. Rae's co-host, Peter Gros, has been involved with Wild Kingdom in one way or another for 4 decades. During an appearance on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson in 1985, he met Jim Fowler, who was looking for an on-air replacement for the venerable Marlon Perkins, then in declining health. Peter, who had served as the director of the Marine World Wildlife Park in Northern California, jumped at the opportunity. He's been with the show ever since. It got a reboot in 2023 as Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, Protecting the Wild, with the support of NBC Television and the Hearst Media Production Group.
I'm particularly proud of the new format now with Dr. Rae and her background in the field, as well as a few years of experience that I have in my background. The combination of the two of us is really an unusual team, and we really enhance the show, I think, with each other's areas of expertise.
The field of nature programming has changed since the show began, says Peter.
Now, I would say we're much more science-based. We're working with biologists and researchers, and rather than having a helicopter, a quiet drone is sent up, and we get to film animals in natural behavior.
Wild Kingdom investigates the habits and habitats of wildlife from a decidedly conservation-based perspective, and that can be seen in the episodes they're bringing to the Family Day program at the Real Wild New York Film Festival, scheduled for Saturday, April 5th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The program includes Into the Bear's Den, which captures a rescue and release effort for black bear cubs. Safe Passage for Whales spotlights the critically endangered northern Atlantic right whale. Hidden World of Ocelots sheds light on efforts to diversify the gene pool of this beautiful wild cat on the U.S.-Mexico border. And World Without Sharks invites viewers to see these misunderstood, endangered apex predators in a new way as they face growing threats. Dr. Rae says she's excited to present the episodes in person.
I'm so proud that Saturday, April 5th, the festival is going to have this family day because I'm a mother of 2 young children. So I know as well as anybody else that like Saturdays are a family day. It is like the thing that parents wake up thinking about on a Saturday morning is like, what are we going to do? What are our activities going to be today?
It's a chance, she says, to introduce more people of all ages to the show and inspire them to get involved.
Although we have literally millions of viewers to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, Protecting the Wild, not everyone has access to our show on NBC or streaming on Peacock. So being able to welcome people in to say, like, stay for a little bit, stay for a while, but watch the shows, meet the hosts, ask questions, really join in on the fun of the community and the fact that like our show is kid friendly, it is adult friendly. I'm really proud that we are making an effort to make space for families, right? Because Families are just an example of community, and the impact that we want to make with our show is all about empowering communities to see themselves as environmental leaders.
Peter is particularly proud of the black bear episode, which captures the monitoring by conservationists of a hibernating New England bear and its cubs, and a visit to a rehabilitation center for cubs that have been orphaned, too often as a result of human-bear conflict.
The main issue is contact with humans, and this is an animal that has one of the best noses in the world, that miles away, depending on the direction of the wind, can smell trash, can smell food. Human contact with bears is usually caused by food.
Sadly, that contact can lead to conflict that leaves bear cubs without a mother at a time they are most vulnerable. But as the episode documents, there are rescue and rehabilitation operations addressing that issue.
There are successful programs of bears that the parents die or get lost or are separated, and that can be taken into foster facilities, raised away from people, and then be successfully reintroduced to the wild again. This is a wonderful story.
Peter, Gros, and I really get in it with these animals. In the ocelot episode, we're like crawling on the ground, acting as an ocelot to make sure our camera traps are set properly. That episode is so fun because we have a real, authentic, surprise moment of conservation success that we did not expect. The bear episode, of course, is pretty freaking intense. Me and the Wild Kingdom team went into a hibernating bear den. You've got to see that. There is a lot to see in our ocean episodes, with whales and sharks. It's exciting, it's informational, and it's very, very real. And I think people of all ages will love it.
Dr. Rae emphasizes why sharing films that capture the natural world is so important in a bustling metropolis like New York.
Nature shows that took me across oceans and to other continents are what inspired me to do this work today. For urban folks, I do believe that getting a taste of what's far away and what's distant and what's hard to get to is important, and it can also help you appreciate what is nearby and what is, in your backyard or your neighborhood park or under the rock in your front stoop. It can help connect you to exactly what kind of nature you have in your own community.
Peter encourages parents to get their kids out into wild places at an early age, away from the distractions of modern living, especially the phones to which we become increasingly addicted.
If you have a young family or young friends, as soon as possible, get them out, expose them in nature, take them hiking, backpacking, camping, eventually long trips. See the world. This country, we still have so much nature, so many wild places to save. Expose as many people as you can, as quickly as you can. Forget the selfies. Take your binoculars, take a long lens. That's the best way to see wildlife up close. Put your small screen down and go spend some time in the trees.
The Real Wild New York Film Festival's family program screens Saturday, April 5th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the AMC Lincoln Square 13 movie complex. For tickets and more information, go to realwild.org. That's REELWILD.org. For WCS Wild Audio, this is Nat Moss.
Today's episode was produced and reported by Nat Moss, with help from Hannah Kaplan and Dan Rosen. The WCS Wild Audio Podcast is a production of the Wildlife Conservation Society. Please join us next week for a new episode, and don't forget to rate or review the show wherever you get your podcasts.